There's something about country life which is lost in the city. All those things people go to when the RNA show is on, here in these towns, it's just the way of life.
There's a great way of life out here, and it's not necessarily a tree change or a slow pace. They just want to see their community blossom. They think their little community is the best, and none of them are wrong, because they're all the best in their own little ways.
I grew up in Eidbold, been to other towns, country towns and that. And, you know, it's pretty good, but I still love this town. Just to be back here, I'm happy, eh?
The 2013 Australia Day weekend was the big one. That was when the whole town flooded. It had been extended periods of dry weather, and then all of a sudden we get this rain, but it just didn't stop. People had lost their homes, they'd lost their belongings, but also farms. Cows got washed away, orchards gone. Next door to where my mum and dad are, there's a dairy, and the whole dairy flooded. There's pumps, there's infrastructure, there's all sorts of things that the whole thing needs cleaning up.
They've lost their photos, they've lost their memories, they've lost all that. Watching somebody lose everything, you just see the light come out of their eyes. If that happened to me, I would want somebody to be there. I'd want somebody to have my back. So you go, okay, well, let's step up, let's do it.
Neighbours just come and help. There was some really amazing community effort that went into just rocking up at a farm to just pitch in. If there's someone who you didn't know, it doesn't matter. But I think that's the very essence of what these areas are built on, is that community, and it's what makes it special. It's what is the difference. It's what you have on your side. You always have that in your corner, and you know that you do. And even without having to utilise it, even without having to call in that help, you know that it's there if you need it.
For those that are farmers, where their whole lifestyle depends on the weather, they've had to work out how to deal with endless blue sky and no rain, or torrential rain, or storms, or whatever. I see them as being people who have probably had to face more than any of us would ever have to face.
But everyone has the point where things all get too much, and that's the point where it's important to reach out and talk to someone. We do see a larger proportion of mental health issues in rural areas, and I think in many ways that's due to the social isolation, as well as experiencing a lot of hardship with things like the drought and various other extreme weather events, which all take a very big impact on our mental health.
When you're going through hard times, as much as you think, yeah, I'm strong enough, I can do it alone, you shouldn't have to do it alone.
There is an awareness that people need to look out for each other. Everyone here talks to everyone. You know, it's when you go to the shop or get petrol or buy the paper. And even that at such a superficial level is so important. It's because you don't know, you could actually steer someone's life in a different direction.
We can be sitting at the bakery and people walk up and talk to you, and it's just little chit chat, but it means so much.
In the bush, even when there's not a major incident, People are always checking on their neighbours. At the police station, I used to get quite a few calls saying, look, I haven't seen Beryl from that property for 4 days or 5 days. Would it be okay if I went and checked on them? Or I've just been to check on them and they're okay. But people were constantly letting me know that, yep, I've checked on my neighbour, they're fine.
I think people in general try to help each other more. And the smaller the town, I feel like the more that happens, which is part of the reason why I wanted to try coming to Mundubbera, a very small rural community, because you really do get that in only a year. I feel like I have met the majority of the people who live here. It makes me feel proud, and it makes me feel that the steps I've taken to get to this position have all been worthwhile. And I feel like me being here and providing that care to people is really making a difference.
About 3 years ago, I posted a photo of this grey wall on social media, and I just put it out to community and said, what can you imagine on this space? So from there, the business owner, she was keen to have a mural on her side of the wall. People said, what about the water tower? They said the grain silos, and all of these other ideas came to us from community. So we were then delivering on what they wanted. I remember this one mum shared a photo of her son under one of our mural signs, saying how proud he was to live in this town. You could literally feel that the community spirit was coming alive. Because of where we are situated, we do continue to struggle with that circular economy to be able to sustain ourselves. But during the project, tourism numbers increased 3 times. So that's not just in Monto, but across the region. So it has a massive benefit, but we definitely could never have done this if we didn't have community backing it. Community just stepped forward and really did own the project, and without that support, it would never have happened. It's exceeded our expectations. I mean, we were doing it just because we wanted something pretty to look at. That where the cow was a horrible, ugly grey wall, and the whole laneway was, nothing to look appealing. And we wanted to do it to make it livable and look nice for us as residents. It's just a bonus that we get to share that with everyone else, and they appreciate it. When the chips are down, this town gets behind and backs everyone. I've seen it even on an individual level where somebody has had something tragic happen and the town backs that and gets behind them and looks after them and nurtures them.
To see the things that some of the people in these communities have gone through is absolutely astounding. They really do have such amazing strength and resilience, and they can bear a lot of things.
Look, we live in a great little town. It's not too far from anything. The people are fantastic. And yeah, the community is just, there's a lot of people getting involved, and that's what's so good about living in a place like Monto. It's just, everybody knows you. And if something happens, they're all willing to help.